This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by International Diamond Center, Domino's, Atlantic Roofing, Meldon Law, Los Linderos Tequila, Comfort Temp, Campus USA Credit Union, Pomodoro Cafe, Titan MRI and Imaging, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Radware, Fairlife Milk, Gator Trim Lights, Quality Plumbing, Doreen Weeby Realtor Caldwell Banker, and the Head Beer Coach.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Welcome into a Tuesday edition of the program. Charlie, going to be our producer today. We hope we'll have good conversation, good sports talk today. Lots going on, actually. As we left air yesterday, not too long after, it was announced Kelly Rae Finley was relieved of her job. And, I mean, it's not surprising. And I got to tell you, I always liked her. Very gracious coming on here. But I guess not enough wins and losses. Tomorrow on the show, Charlie Cream's going to come on, who is the women's bracketologist for ESPN, and we're going to do two things with him. One, talk about bracketology, but then how good a job does he think this Florida job is? Because if you think about it, the only coach that really left under her own terms is Carol Ross. Other than that, not. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But there is another basketball team that's doing some things. And it's my pleasure to have live in studio with us Gator great and current Gator assistant men's basketball coach Torian Green. Will be here for a couple of segments. He'll be open to taking your questions and comments. It's good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Enjoying this run and ready for March Madness to begin.
You know, okay, I got to ask you this right off the bat. I've been asked this a lot. Okay, if the back-to-back team played this team, who would win? I've been asked that 50 times, man, if I've been asked once. But you know the talent, right? What can you answer that without some bias?
I mean, I think I think anybody would be biased, but I like to just enjoy, that specific team. So, of course my team was very good. We had great bigs. Similar to this team this year, and our guard play was similar, to this year as well. So there's similarities, but I'm just very happy, for the guys that are on our team. They've worked hard all year. We had to go through some ups and downs. We had to go through adversity, just like every team has, and we've overcome it. We fought through it, and we stayed strong mentally, and we're in a good place right now. We just got to continue to keep working and stay humble.
Are you playing your best basketball now, do you think?
Yes. I think we're playing very good basketball right now. I think guys are just comfortable in their roles. Guys have accepted their roles. They're playing for each other, and defensively we're doing what we're supposed to. We're rebounding the ball, and we're playing how we're supposed to be playing, and hopefully we can just keep it up.
You know this. Sometimes it just takes a group time to figure things out, gel. You had great talent last year, and the guards started out shooting okay, but not great. But to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, Boogie to the point kind of solidified everybody's roles. Would you agree with that?
Yes. It always starts with the point guard. And, Boogie, I think people forget, Boogie's 19. He played, pretty much half a season. He got hurt playing against us last year, which was, I think, was the second or third game in SEC. So he really only got to play half a year. He had an injury, and then, he had to do recovery. He came to a new team, the defending national champions. He had to, get his rhythm back, figure out, how the team needed him to play with the weapons that we had already coming back. So there's an adjustment period, obviously, and he went through his struggles, just trying to figure that out, whether it be finding his role, when to be aggressive, shot selection and all that. So we went through that. Xavier and Lee had to go through the same as well. The backcourt position is very important, and, having two new backcourt players is important, and the transition is just, it takes a little bit of time, but, we're clicking right now. They figured it out. Our vets have done a great job. Doe, Ruben, Tommy, they've done a great job. Just keep breathing confidence to them and just getting them acclimated and comfortable to where they need to be.
By the way, before we continue with Torian, I need to tell you we're broadcasting live from the Gator Trim Light Studio. You can light up your whole yard or event in orange and blue or anything else. They're really good at what they do. You can make your home game day ready. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. And we are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. The best and late model low mileage vehicles. You can go see him today. When you do, make sure and tell him Sports Scene sent you. Got an email for you here. Okay. Mark says, I grew up in Orlando while your dad played for the Magic, attended the Sidney Green basketball summer camp as a kid. Your dad taught us a lot. While you played for UF, who were one or two SEC guards you would put in a bit more pregame prep for outside of practice?
It was probably, at that time, Rajon Rondo was one of the best guards in the conference country, highly rated recruit. So him, and probably the name you guys probably won't be familiar with, maybe guys or people around my age, Ron Steele from Alabama.
Wow.
Yeah, Ron Steele was always a tough matchup. He was a 6'2", strong guard, could shoot, could attack, had a strong body, always made the right reads. Just a very good player.
You have played for a Hall of Fame coach, and you're playing for one that's trying to win back-to-back national championships. You played for one, you're coaching with the other one. What are the similarities? What are the differences that you see in those two?
I think, with Coach Donovan, all his guys love him. And I can say the same for Coach Golden. All our players love Coach Golden. I'd say both of them are players, coaches. They give you a great amount of freedom. Within that freedom, there's responsibilities, obviously, but, play with a ultra amount of freedom, breathes confidence to his players. They're very similar in that, and they both love offense. so there's a lot of similarities right there.
Dustin has an email for us here. This is the International Diamond Center email. You played LSU and Missouri once, Kentucky twice. Any similarities or differences you see from when you played maybe LSU or Missouri earlier than now?
I'll probably have to go back to the tape just to watch a little bit more. But at this point, to be honest, every game will be a dogfight. Every game is going to be a dogfight. We'll be well scouted. Our staff does a great job preparing our players, for our opponent. So we'll be well prepared. It's just a matter of controlling what we can control and just continuing to go out and playing with that same togetherness and intensity and aggressiveness that we've been playing with.
If you have any Facebook Live questions, Charlie, get them to us for Torian. Brought to you by Ruzoga State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville, North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. Any YouTube questions, Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Spurrier does his banking, founded on the UF campus, serving our community for 90 years. Hey, we don't get him in the studio here, so it's your chance to talk hoops with him, okay? 3928, I can do it, but 3928255, your chance to ask him a question. I've got several.
Talk to me.
I guess when you look at where this team is and where it's come from, what I like about it is just the tenacity. Kind of reflects Todd, But from what you do on the staff, Torian, if people don't know, what are some of the roles you have as a member of the staff?
I head up a lot of the player development. So I'm just making sure our guys are in the gym, working on things. A little couple tweaks, whatever needs to be improved. Just a lot of shooting, a lot of in-game reps that they'll see in the game. I do scouting, recruiting.
You like the scouting part?
Yeah, I love the scouting part. It's pretty cool. Being a player, you're just used to, all right, the coach is doing it, looking at the paper, reading the scout. But it's pretty cool being on the other side, preparing the guys for the scout, having to study other teams. I've been around a lot of basketball, so it comes natural to me, but I think it's pretty cool.
All right, let's get a call for you here. Byron, hello.
Hey, Steve. Torian, thanks for taking my call.
Yes,
Torian,
sir.
I don't know if this makes sense, but Steve and I, we've been kind of talking about the High Points. I think they're on a 14-game winning streak, but more of Miami of Ohio. And I definitely don't want to match up with any of those teams. But, I just wanted you to maybe explain. It just seemed odd that these small colleges have the capability of upsetting you. Back in the 70s, 80s when I played, it didn't seem common. But tell me, what do you think is the contributor to smaller colleges being so, able to upset people? Is it NIL or just the way this thing goes? Thanks for my call, and go Gators.
Byron, thanks.
I think it's, these smaller schools, I think the game has changed. The three-point line is very important now, so there's a high amount of threes being shot everywhere in basketball in the world now. There's a lot of guys that, aren't recruited at a high level coming out of high school. They go to these small schools. They continue to work. They develop. Playing within their conference, in their schedule, they'll build confidence. They rack up wins, and then once the tournament comes around, anything can happen. It's kind of like the you lose, you go home mentality. So I think those smaller schools, they play with a lot more confidence and just freedom. With the attitude of heck, like, what do we have to lose?
Yeah.
And, so it allows them to play free, and, they're obviously going to be up to play against the bigger schools. And, it's a lot of factors that'll go into it. But the thing with that is just you got to – I think the main thing playing the smaller schools is you have to guard the three.
Yep. All right. I've often thought about this, and I've asked pre-NIL players this. When all this started, Torian, if you put your player hat on, you're thinking like, man, I missed this, right? What was going through your head when all this NIL stuff started?
Is there a time machine where I could jump back 20-something years? Nah, man, it was, when we first got here is actually, the beginning of NIL. So, everybody, I think, around the country was just still learning about it, trying to figure out how to maneuver around it. But, our staff has done a great job. Shout out, to Coach Golden, Jonathan Safir. They do a great job in terms of, kind of being ahead of the curve a little bit when it comes to NIL. And, our staff as well. Like, we've done a great job of just kind of, being selective, with our guys. And, like Coach Golden says, we want guys that want to be Gators. And, you could tell everybody on our team, they love being here. They love playing for the Gator logo, and they love playing for Coach. So, it's a lot of stuff that goes into this NIL, and the rules are ever changing. They are going to continue to change.
Yeah, they are.
Like I said, we have a great staff, and, shout out to them that, to really kind of be ahead of the curve and maneuver and handle the NIL in a way that helps the Gators.
All right, let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Henry, hello.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call,
Sure.
Steve, and hi, Torian.
Hey, how we doing?
Pretty good. I'd like to ask you a question about our guards. What could X and Boogie, what would be the main things that you would want them to improve on before the tournament and the NCAA tournament begins?
Honestly, I think they're in a great space right now. They're playing confident. They're shooting the ball well. I'm a point guard, so if I have to nitpick, I think it would just be cutting down on the silly turnovers. That would be my main thing. But other than that, they're the ones pushing the ball for us. They're getting us out in transition. They're playing with great pace. They're finding guys. They're finding who they need to find. They're finding our shooters, finding our bigs who are running, and they're also doing a great job of attacking the rim and creating for themselves. So I think they're playing with great pace. They're balancing our team right now, and I think I'm very happy with their progress and the resilience that they've had, throughout this year.
Okay, one more question for you. Mm-hmm. Not counting our guys, who are one or two guards in the league that in the SEC that you really think are complete guards?
Obviously, you know, the freshman from Arkansas, Acuff, he's a very good guard. He's a talent. You know, he's had to do a lot for them. You know, he's had a very good year. And I'll say I like Tyler Tanner from Vanderbilt. You know, he does a lot.
Just going to say him.
Yeah, he does a lot for his team.
He sure does.
Scrappy. You know, he runs the show. He can make every pass in the book. You know, a very good player.
Okay. Appreciate your answers, and go Gators.
Thanks for your call, Henry. We'll get a break. Torian's going to stay one more segment, so you got something for him. Call us up, email us, whatever you got. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Haley Kelsey. Florida men's baseball drops down to number 23 after narrowly avoiding a series sweep against High Point over the weekend. Florida salvaged the finale on Sunday with a tight 12-11 win after scoring 5 runs in the 9th inning. Head coach Kevin O'Sullivan was not happy with the performance from the Gators over the weekend.
Am I pleased with how we played? No. Am I pleased with how we dealt with adversity? No. Not in the slightest bit. Am I pleased on how we started the game after getting beat soundly yesterday? No. We need a better start from Coop. We need to play better defense, right?
Florida will look to improve their record against number 20 FSU tonight before heading into conference play this weekend. In other Gator news, number 24 Florida men's tennis plays number 7 TCU in a midweek matchup. The Gators are coming off a 4-1 loss at home to Texas A&M on Friday. They will look to bounce back tonight.
Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45 plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45 plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Gator Nation, ready to light it up? Gator Trimlight has already brightened homes and businesses across North Florida, and now they're bringing the heat with full color landscape lighting. Light up your palm trees, bushes, pools, patios, barbecue decks, everything in orange and blue. Whether it's a back porch retrofit or a full custom landscape install, Gator Trimlight makes your home game day ready. Turn your patio into the ultimate victory zone and cheer your Gators on to a big win. Visit GatorTrimlight.com. That's GatorTrimlight.com. Gator Trimlight. Let there be Gator Light.
This year, flavor doesn't walk. It runs wild. At P.F. Chang's, we're charging into the Year of the Horse with bold new wok-fired dishes like pork belly bao buns and refreshing cocktails like the Midnight Gallop. P.F. Chang's beloved red envelope tradition returns, adding a surprise element to every visit during the Lunar New Year. Each guest receives a red envelope revealing a special offer redeemable on a future visit. Stop in now for their great lunch specials starting at just $13.99 at P.F. Chang's. Valid for dine-in only while supplies last. Details at pfchangs.com.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their meatball sub with fries or onion rings, topped with the house sauce and lots of melted mozzarella.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. Our pleasure to have Gator great Torian Green and Coach Torian Green here in the studio. Want to talk to him, call us up, 392-8255. You can also email the show, srussell@wruf.com. Tampa Mike says, Torian, would you say this current team is more like your 04s or last year's squad? Do you think the Auburn game reaped a lot of dividends for this season? Seems like Coach reevaluated following and the offense became a little more diverse in sets offensively and the run game picked up more.
Well, definitely. I feel like, if you want to compare my team to this team, obviously, my team had good bigs. This team has very good bigs. Our guard play was very good. This guard play is very good. So you have at the 3, you have a Swiss Army knife. Our Swiss Army knife was Corey Brewer. This year's team, Swiss Army knife is Tommy Hawk at the 3. So there's definitely similarities. But in terms of the turning point for this year, that Auburn loss definitely stung. We obviously expected to win that game, but we didn't come out the right way. They got us at home. But, every loss isn't the end of the world. You're going to lose games, but it's how you respond. And, we put our heads down. We continued to work. We reevaluated. Coach did an awesome job of, continuing to breathe life, holding our guys accountable, and he did a great job of just staying the course and preaching to our guys like, hey, the work has to be put in. Our guys put the work in, made adjustments, continued to work on their games, and we reached that point to where after that Auburn loss, we ran off a few games. It made us more hungry. It refocused us, and we ran off I don't know how many games straight. What is it, 12 or something like that, but.
Long year.
It reset us and it got us a lot back in. Teams need that sometimes.
Yep.
So, it's a blessing in disguise. Nobody wants to lose, but losses can be a positive thing.
No doubt. Let's go to our phone. Porter, hello.
Hey, Steve. I'm Coach Green. Thanks for taking my call.
How you doing?
We always talk about we hear about the 04s like it was one group. It was the 4 guys and Lee Humphrey. But I remember it was 5 individuals who were playing so well together as a group.
Mm-hmm.
When you decided to come back, I can still get chills to this day hearing Noah. I'm going to say we're coming back at the O'Connell Center at the celebration.
Yeah.
I just want to know, was there much discussion as a group? Because behind the scenes, because it wasn't one decision; it was 5, but it was done as one. I was just curious if you can give us any insight on that, because we certainly thank you for it. And secondly, you stay in touch with. I'm sure you do with most of the guys, but other than the group of the 5, Chris Richard or Adrian Moss or Mo Spates or some of the other guys. I'd love to hear that. Go Gators, be safe, and thank you.
Thank you, Porter.
Yes, sir. Well, yeah, I'm still in contact with all those guys. Everybody has their life now. We got kids, we got families and all that, but we definitely stay in contact. My man Lee Humphrey, my shooter, he's doing radio for us. He's right there in Jacksonville, so it's always awesome being able to see him on game days, and he travels with us sometimes. And Joe, Al, Corey, and all those boys, Chris, we all text. But we had a tight knit group, and when those guys had a decision to make, everybody kind of had their own situation. Corey had his own situation, Joakim had his situation, and Al had his. So those guys debriefed with their families first, and then we sat down and asked what are you guys gonna do? I already knew that I was gonna come back. Lee Hunt was gonna come back, but those 3 had a big decision, because I think they were gonna be top 10 to 14 picks. So they sat down and Coach Donovan sat down with us as well, and he just put it out there, the opportunity that we had, if we were to come back, and those guys made a decision. They loved playing for Coach Donovan. They loved the University of Florida, and they loved their teammates. And
yep.
It was an easy decision after that, and that's why they came back, gave up millions to come back to the University of Florida and play for another championship.
Art says, are you looking forward to potentially less travel if you play in Tampa? What's your end goal with coaching? Eventually a head coach?
Traveling to Tampa is awesome because it's right here in the backyard, so we don't have to travel across the country to anywhere. And yeah, at some point, obviously, we'll see where this coaching world takes me. But right now I'm just locked into this season and just continuing to try to do whatever I can to help, our guys, the team, and the University of Florida.
International Diamond Center email, srussell@wruf.com. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. That's where Bill is. Hi, Bill.
Yes, sir. Tori and Bill Strawn, how are you?
How we doing, Bill? I'm doing great. And yourself?
I think that Kentucky game may have been the best thing that could ever happen to this team because for over half they played great, and then now you coaches have got something to talk to them about because they didn't play worth a flip the last quarter.
Facts.
But yet you still won, so you didn't have to take a loss to bring them back to reality. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir. You're always trying to find something to motivate your team throughout the season, and it's tough. When you're winning, the wins are always awesome. That's the ultimate goal, is to win. But the great thing about our staff is that even when we win, we try to find things that we can improve on, because there's no perfect team, but we try to be as perfect as a team as we can be, and just try to focus on things that we can control that'll make us better.
I know you're trying to get Handlogan another year, but out of curiosity, is there any possibility, if you win the national championship this year, of the three others, Xavier's gone, but the three others coming back to win a third, which hadn't been done since UCLA?
I hope so. We got to get there first. But
I understand. But it's just something that would be really unique, and I know they'd be giving up a lot, but I'm sure you could raise a lot of NIL money if needed, if everybody decided to come back except Xavier, because you can replace him, even though he's a very good guard, but at least he's not 7 foot. So there are other places, other people out there that you could fill that. Plus, you may have somebody on the team that can fill it, which it looks like you do.
All right.
But y'all are doing a great job, and we appreciate it. And we'll see you in Tampa. Do you have any idea what time you would play in Tampa, whether it be first game or second game?
We don't know the times yet, but I think we'll find that out soon.
Yep.
I'm not sure of the time.
Okay.
Yet.
Bill, thank you. Appreciate your call. Facebook Live question, courtesy of Rose River State Farm. JP, how important are these rest days to the team? What are some things the team utilizes to benefit from it?
Anytime you can get rest, is very important. And, our guys put themselves in a position to where, we don't have to go to play in Nashville until Friday. So, we're just, making sure, coach is doing a great job, communicating with our trainer, John, about guys who need recovery, guys who need certain things just in terms of recovery. And, in the meantime, guys are making sure they're getting their reps and doing everything they're supposed to do to be as fresh as we can be, heading into Friday. At this point, every team is playing with some nicks and bruises. That's just part of the grind throughout the season. So it's just being able to maintain and just having as fresh legs as possible so we can go out there and continue to play hard and play at a high level.
All right, last call here because Torian's got to go back, and I really appreciate him taking time today to talk to you all. Channing on YouTube, again, YouTube questions courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. If this team goes back-to-back, where will they rank for you in all-time Gator teams?
Well, they'll have to be considered to be, top 2, top 3, top 4. Any team that wins a championship is up there. It's a tough thing to do. And I know everybody's talking championship, and that's our ultimate goal. But I think, our staff and our guys are doing a great job of just having a one game at a time mentality and not looking too far ahead. Because at the end of the day, we're in a place now. It's the season. You lose, you go home. And I know our guys don't want to go home. Our staff doesn't want to go home. So, collectively, we're doing everything we can to control what we can control and to put us in the best position to go ahead and handle business and reach our goal.
I'll end with this unless somebody has a quick email. And look, we just got one. But a couple of people, actually more than that, a few have called or texted and said, what's Florida's motivation here? They're a 1 seed now. You go to the SEC tournament. Well, I said, didn't Florida win the SEC tournament last year and win a championship?
Mm-hmm.
So isn't there still motivation?
Yes, sir. Our goal is to win. Like we're never going to get tired of winning. And our goal now, we got one of our goals this year, which was to win a regular season championship. We accomplished. And now our next goal is to go win the SEC tournament.
Last one, Monty in Virginia. My favorite part of the 04 championship was Noah's stickity dance at the end of the game. He still laughs every time he sees it.
I still laugh every time I see it. No, that guy, he's awesome, man. He's a character. He has a big personality, man. That was just, the nature of our team, just a group of guys that loved playing with each other, a fun group similar to this team. And, it was just the vibes, and the similar vibes with this team and the similar vibes that we have going on now, in terms of the culture in basketball, at Florida basketball.
Where is Joe now?
Joe is traveling around the world, man. He's doing a lot of stuff for his foundation. He's doing a lot, man. He texted me and he said the Gator OGs will be at the tournament. So he's there. I know all them boys are locked in, ready to go.
That's really cool. I know you got to go. Thank you for doing this, man. I appreciate you being here, and good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate you having me, Steve.
All right. Torian Green joining us here live on Sports Scene. We'll take a break, come back, open up the phone lines for you, emails too. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
March Madness is coming to WRUF.
It's no fun being injured. The last thing you want to deal with is long wait times or high costs. Well, guess what? You don't have to, thanks to Titan MRI and Imaging. The experience at Titan MRI and Imaging is much more personal than the sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. And they accept insurance. So if you need a scan, save time and money and call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
For the first time ever in a public setting outside the Heisman Trophy ceremony in New York City, 3 legends are coming to Gainesville. Join Steve Spurrier, Daniel Werfel, and Tim Tebow together with their Heisman trophies for the Legends Gala at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill on Monday, March 30th. Enjoy an unforgettable night of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
Gator fans, get ready to raise a glass for a perfect cause. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is teaming up with UF Gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland to bring you 2 brand new limited time drinks. Feel the heat with the fiery flip or stick the landing with the perfect 10 margarita. And here's the best part. $2 from every drink goes straight to support the Gator NIL Fund. Sip, support, and celebrate Gator greatness. But hurry, these signature drinks are only available for a limited time at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where Gators come to win.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parrish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Ever dreamed of catching a touchdown pass from Tim Tebow or Danny Werfel, or taking a handoff from the legendary Steve Spurrier? Then you need to join the Florida Legends Experience on Monday, March 30th at the Alachua County at Celebration Point. You'll receive a personal video of your touchdown and a football signed by the Gator Legends. Enjoy an unforgettable day of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets.
Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
The Tailgate with Jeff Cardozo and Zach Albuquerque. Weekdays at 4, right here on WRUF.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed Torian here. He's just as nice as he seems. Also a terrific player here. All right, let's recalibrate, regroup here. Charlie's going to produce the program here. We'll open up the phone lines here. 392-8255. That's the Titan MRI Imaging phone line. 3 locations in Gainesville, 1 in Lake City to serve you better. You can find out more at TitanMRI.com. The email, courtesy of International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. Big assortment of designer engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, and fine jewelry. Don't forget all of our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. They won't back down. And Quality Plumbing, sponsoring the first hour of the show. When you need a company that's been serving for a long time, this is the company. They've been serving Gator Nation since 1984. And indeed, their name says it all. Let's go to Bernard. Bernard, hello.
Hey, Steve, I want to talk about the women's basketball program we've been talking about. I think, Scott Strickland came on your show and he said it had to get better. So yesterday's decision was probably no surprise to anyone. I'm surprised it didn't happen Friday. Steve, you asked the question. Was Carol Rose the one that had Alicia Milton and Muriel Page?
Yes.
Okay. They were one game from going to the Final Four.
Yeah, went to the Elite Eight one year. Yep.
They missed it. They had a shot at the end to win. Steve, I don't think it's a very good women's basketball game. Scott is kind of talking, and I don't know. He seems it's like the Kirk Golden has put in the Kirk Cincinnati effect. See, because you're good at men's basketball, we should be good at women's basketball. I don't know about the resources, but Steve, you mentioned something last week about this new soccer coach, and I agree with you. He came in, he got some people, new players. Steve, when you come to this job, you better have a plan right away, because there's mobility in college sport that you're going to bring some talent in. You right away with you to make an immediate impact, Steve. So I think that this women's program, just like the men's program at Florida, is only going to be, Steve, as good as the person that's leading the program, because it's going to be up to that person to bring in the necessary talent. And like I said, Steve, when you come to Florida, before you get this job, you better have my players coming with me, AAU or something, to bring in some new talent right away. Steve, take care and have a great day, okay?
All right, Bernard, thank you. I don't disagree, except I would say this. I think most coaches, the vast majority of coaches, have a plan. They just don't always work out. And I don't really know how good a job this is. We don't know what the NIL money is here compared to an LSU or a South Carolina or a school like that. I do know this. They put on several NIL events that they did, a fashion show and some other things to help raise money. Now, do other schools do that? Of course they do. But again, it just goes to show you that, they felt they needed more money to compete. Andrew, hello.
Hey, yesterday you brought up an article about has NIL killed the upset?
Uh-huh.
And I was actually just thinking about that, and I was thinking about it with us. I'm wondering, are we one of those teams that's pretty darn good that we can kind of have a bad shooting night and we'll still win the first round and second round maybe possibly?
I mean, obviously, it depends what the other team does. I mean, you're asking the question in a vacuum because we don't know what the other team is going to do. But if you assume that, you're going to play a team that you should be, superior to, and you don't shoot the ball, as well as you normally shoot it, I would imagine you'd still be able to, get the job done and move along.
Are you saying because of the talent
yes.
of us? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. And then going back to the article, I was disappointed last year with the games. Do you think that'll continue where the NIL creates just way too much where the top teams just keep winning? Do you think there'll be a lot of upsets this year?
No, I don't. And that is a trend that we're seeing because these smaller schools, A, lose talent, and B, can't keep up. So I don't think you're going to see, as many upsets, especially in the early rounds, like we have in the past. I just think that NIL is causing this, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and then they're talking about expanding it. It's kind of like, well, is there even a point? It seems like the bigger teams are just getting better anyway.
Well, we had that discussion here a few weeks back about whether people were for or against expansion. Look, if you are School X and you make the NCAA tournament, think of the excitement of that school. Think what I mean. They may know as a 16 seed they got no shot at beating Duke or Florida or whoever, but you're still there, and you can say we played in March Madness. So that's a pretty cool thing. Now, do I want it expanded? I don't. I think it's fine where it is, but I understand the argument.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Andrew. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, I'm going to address Bernard's point. Bernard kind of had an analysis of the Gator women's, about bringing on a leader who could inspire, bring people, but I think you hit on it. Until we invest the same amount of money that the rest of the teams in the conference and in the state are doing, we're going to be in trouble in terms it's kind of a catch-22, bringing in the best coach we can, but also bringing in the best talent. I think I recall in the articles talking about, not the Florida article on the Florida website, but on the national media, basically said we, according to the 2024 statistics, we were the last place team in the SEC in terms of spending on NIL and women's basketball. And if that's the case, we're only going to get incrementally better regardless of who's helming the ship. So I'm a little concerned there until we decide to make an investment.
Well,
we're going to get much better.
And here's the other thing. What coach are you going to get if you don't make the investment?
Exactly. That's the catch-22. There you go. You got it. So that's where we're headed right now. Now, the other thing you were the laundry list of coaches who might be out there. I saw Delisha Milton-Jones might be on that list. And I swear I should have known this, so I feel terrible about myself. But I saw where she's at Old Dominion, and it's funny because coincidentally, back in whatever it was, 95 or 96, it was Old Dominion and Tisha Pinachero who knocked the crap out of us and knocked us out of the Elite Eight and got to the Final Four. So, hey, maybe Delisha will come back and not maybe need as much money as some of the other coaches because she's invested in Florida, and if she's can come back here and we could try to, re-engage. That would be awesome. I would love to see it.
Well, the other, I understand why, you'd think of her because, again, she was part of the school's only trip to the Elite Eight. But again, you're not looking at, for a school like Florida, you're not looking at big names, right? It just doesn't. Yeah. It just doesn't resonate. And look, I'm not going to knock somebody who, for example, how about Matt Wise? How about him?
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
I mean,
maybe. Yeah.
So, but where I'm going with that is, if you're looking, I don't say it's all going to boil down to, but it's going to boil down to the money and what coach is going to want to come here. The only coach in our league that I think you go after is Ole Miss's coach, because she has publicly ranted, better word than ranted. She didn't rant. She's publicly pleaded for more support from students, from, because they're not bad. I mean, Ole Miss is pretty good in women's basketball, but they don't get crowds, they don't get recognition, and she has been vocal about that. Now, you're coming to a place like Florida, which is last in the league in attendance. She's going to look at that too and go, why do I want to leave where I am? So it's a catch-22. If you get, you build it, they will come, right? You hope. So we'll see.
She definitely demonstrated the discomfort with Ole Miss. So we would have to, I would suspect that if we somehow sign her, that there had been some proof in the pudding on the table in terms of NIL or a booster stepping up or some level. Because we can't promise the fans. Winning will promise the fans, but we can promise the money. So if she's worried about an investment or an administration that's not invested in the product of women's basketball, then we're going to have to show her we're invested before we got her. But anywhere I've read about the potential candidates for Florida, the list is capable people at mid-majors,
right,
who've demonstrated success. Because, again, we're not going to be stealing someone from Duke or from Tennessee. Well, Tennessee maybe. Tennessee's not doing too good this year, actually. So we'll see.
All right. Appreciate you. Thank you, Jeff.
Right.
D, hang on. Got to get a break in. I'll get right to you. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jalen Foote. Gators baseball is preparing for a rivalry game against 20th ranked FSU, coming off a series loss to High Point over the weekend. Head coach Kevin O'Sullivan spoke on his disappointment in his team.
Am I pleased with how we played? No. Am I pleased with how we dealt with adversity? No. Not in the slightest bit. Am I pleased on how we started the game after getting beat soundly yesterday? No. We need a better start from Coop. We need to play better defense, right?
Despite the tough week, shortstop Brendan Lawson was selected to be the starting shortstop on Baseball America's National Team of the Week. The Gators play FSU tonight at home with first pitch at 6:30 p.m. Moving to men's basketball news, Florida's Ruben Chinyelu and Thomas Houck earned AP SEC first team honors, and Alex Condon earned second team honors, while Todd Golden was named SEC Coach of the Year. The Gators take their awards to Nashville for their first game of the SEC tournament on Friday.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF Bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida Bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida Bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
Davis Gainesville Chevrolet is now Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC.
That's right, Coach. The all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC is an unbeatable team. New Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, your choice, just $279 a month. Plus, nobody will pay you more for your trade than we will. At the all-new Gainesville Chevrolet and Gainesville GMC.
See you soon at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com.
24-month leases, 85-21 due at signing. No security deposit. Subject to lender approval. May include loyalty. Offers don't combine. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Fresh Florida sweet corn. Beneath their golden tassels and bright green husks lies row upon row of summertime perfection. Captivating kernels of yellow or white, or a combination of the two. Ready to be grilled, boiled, or roasted, this cream of the crop can turn any soup into a chowder. Tossed in a salad, mixed in a side dish, or eaten straight off the cob like a typewriter. There's no wrong way to enjoy Florida sweet corn. To see what Florida sweet corn can do for you, visit freshfromflorida.com.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Our rain-free day will continue through this evening and overnight. I'm expecting temperatures to drop down into the 60s after midnight with an eventual low of 64 degrees. Tomorrow we will have a similar weather regime in place, so expect high temperatures to reach about 90 degrees, which is 15 degrees above average for mid-March. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Andrew Wolfeck.
March Madness is coming to WRUF.
I mean, I don't mind warmer weather. If it's this now, what's it going to be in June? I mean, but I guess later in the week, it's going to get a little better. All right, let's get to D here. I promised he'd be here. He's going to talk some women's hoops. Hi, D.
Hey, what's up, Steve? Yeah, I'm gonna get on the women's hoop conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, I just looked up the AP poll for the women, and I think there's 7 teams from the SEC in the top 25. I just think, Steve, obviously there has to be resources there, but I look at what was South Carolina before Dawn Staley. What was LSU before Kim Mulkey? Obviously, the Texas coach, I think he was the Georgia coach at one time, so he's
Mississippi
pretty
State.
well-renowned.
Mississippi State, Vic Schaefer.
Yeah, Mississippi State, my bad. Yeah, Schaefer, I've heard of him. But, again, the Kentucky has a pretty decent coach. I look at Duke. I know Carol Lawson because she was an assistant with my Celtics. She's been there 5 years. She's got Duke in the top 8. I just think if you find the right coach, Steve, and give some resources, then you should be fine, man. This is no excuse for Florida to be this irrelevant in women's college basketball. I mean, they're not even on the radar. And like I said, Steve, there's UCLA's got a good coach. There's other teams. Vanderbilt is in the top 7. There's other teams out there with programs that are not nationally known programs that are hiring the right coach, and then they're turning their programs around.
Yeah, but what you said's right, but how do you it's chicken or the egg, right? Florida's been very successful at hiring up-and-comers in a lot of sports. I mean, Billy Donovan, Marshall, Urban. I mean, Utah wasn't a powerhouse when he got hired. Coach Spurrier, Duke. So, I mean, there's been coaches who have been hired from schools like that who have been really good. And it's not to say that that can't happen again, but the landscape's changed because of NIL. It's different now. I mean, you can hire, if you hired Gino Auriemma, great. Would he make Florida better? Instantly, he would make Florida better. But if he's not given resources, well, he's not going to be as good as he could be. So it's a two-edged sword.
Oh, I totally agree. And I would love to get that Ole Miss coach, man, because I love her. She's fiery. She gives great sound bites.
Yes.
She holds players accountable. But again, like you say, Steve, if she's not promised, she's not going to leave a program where I think they're in the top 20 to come to a program that's not invested. So why would I make that move? So like I said, I would love to get her, but if you're not promising her the resources and to get and the money to get these players and to get the program on track, or at least maybe in the top half of the SEC, I would not make that move.
Well, we're going to see, because she is, in my humble opinion, the most logical target if you're getting somebody from this league, because she has voiced her concern about what Ole Miss is doing in terms of its fans and whatnot. And I think, somebody can fact check me here, I think they're about to make their 5th NCAA appearance under her. So obviously she's got a pretty good track record, and Ole Miss isn't, exactly a basketball powerhouse. So she's done great. I think she'd be terrific here, Coach Yo. But once, like you said, you got to have resources. There's got to be a step up for her.
I agree totally, man. It's good to hear Torian Green on, man. Enjoy the interview.
I'm glad you did. Thank you. I've always liked him. We've always gotten along. He's just a really good dude. Dustin said, with some early thoughts, we might have reached out to the Ole Miss coach, said we're trying to boost our resources for women's basketball. Well, I don't care if you get Mickey Mouse. You're going to have to boost that. Because, again, what coach worth their salt, unless it's, you're at a smaller school. But even then, you step up here and you get buried in the league, what's going to happen in 3 years? You're going to be looking for a job again. So you don't want that. I wouldn't. Patrick says, go get Gino and pay him $6 million. Right. I have land south of Key West I will sell you. We'll take a break. We'll come back. And then top of the hour, one of my former students, Allison Posey, is going to join us. Florida does play FSU in baseball tonight. She'll preview FSU as you listen to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator Sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com, and let your brand shine.
It's a new year, kind of a new season, and Coach Steve Spurrier knows the importance of teamwork.
Any head coach that is successful, he's got to have a good staff. So team is very important, just like it is at Campus USA, and I'm proud to be part of that group.
Listen to the head ball coach and make the right play. Start your new year in a better financial place. Campus USA Credit Union. Check out campuscu.com. campuscu.com.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
Ever dreamed of catching a touchdown pass from Tim Tebow or Danny Werfel, or taking a handoff from the legendary Steve Spurrier? Then you need to join the Florida Legends Experience on Monday, March 30th at the Alachua County at Celebration Point. You'll receive a personal video of your touchdown and a football signed by the Gator Legends. Enjoy an unforgettable day of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by International Diamond Center, Domino's, Atlantic Roofing, Meldon Law, Los Linderos Tequila, Comfort Temp, Campus USA Credit Union, Pomodoro Cafe, Titan MRI and Imaging, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Radware, Fairlife Milk, Gator Trim Lights, Quality Plumbing, Doreen Wiebe Realtor Caldwell Banker, and The Head Beer Coach.
Now, here's Steve Russell right here on WRUF.
Welcome into Hour 2 of Sports Scene for this Tuesday. Charlie, our producer today. Hope you enjoyed Torian Green, Gator Great, live here in the studio, talking Gator basketball. Don't forget, a program note, Friday's show will start at 11 a.m. and then run until the basketball game starts. And then next Thursday and Friday, we gone because we got games. They'll play here, okay? Speaking of games, Florida State, they play those 3 separate baseball games. The first one here tonight. Always enjoy bringing back my former students. She's doing really well up in Tallahassee. WCTV reporter, anchor Allison Posey joins us here to talk about the semis. Allison, how are you? Good to be here.
I'm good. How are you doing, Steve?
I'm doing great. Thanks for doing this.
Of course.
Seminoles have a good record. You've seen them play. What are your thoughts on Florida State?
I mean, I think it's very much a team that has gotten some good wins, but a team that's still very much trying to find their identity. I mean, they lost a lot of guys off last year's team. 11 players drafted. Key losses, middle infield. I mean, when you lose your shortstop and second baseman, plus some big arms on the mound. I mean, it's still a team that is very much still trying to figure itself out a little bit. I mean, it's still early in the season. I mean, conference play is right around the corner, and of course this big rivalry game tonight. But yeah, I mean, I like what I've seen so far. but they've got a lot of growing to do for sure.
If I said to you, Allison, what do you 15 game, whatever it is, what's the strength of Florida State so far? How would you respond?
Miles Bailey at first base.
Okay.
I mean, the kid is a monster. I mean, just a sensational freshman career, what he's doing at the plate and even on defense. I mean, he's a guy that you can't pitch around. I mean, he just mashes the baseball and is so much fun to watch. And just selfishly for me, I mean, he's a Tallahassee local, so I've got to see him grow up. So to see what he's done on the diamond for Florida State has just been really, really cool. Miles Bailey is a special, special talent on this roster.
They've won 9 in a row. What's the schedule been like?
I mean, they haven't really been tested per se, I would say. I mean, the Citadel gave them a run for their money a little bit. And they've struggled a little bit in midweek, which midweek you could say that's where you see the pen, and I think that's where this team really needs to grow. And it's kind of been the Achilles heel of Florida State baseball. Just they've had the big arms, the big starting arms. I mean, you had a guy like Jamie Arnold last year, but the pen is where they struggle, and you see that a lot in midweek games. I mean, I think Florida can say the same thing. And that's what's going to be interesting is if this pen can get developed and what they can do, and that's going to kind of be the tool to see how far this team can go.
You look at what the roster is. You mentioned about losing a lot of people. On the mound, Allison, what do you see?
Yeah, the mound, again, is where they have to develop. I mentioned the pen, and you lose a guy like Jamie Arnold, a guy that went, first round last year. I mean, he was a big key to this team's success, and that's what they really have to develop. And not just Jamie. I mean, that they lost a lot of guys from the starting. Joey Bellini, Cam Leiter, who really wasn't even developed as a pitcher. He was injured a lot of his time at Florida State and Garnet and Gold. So when you lose those guys, those big weekend starters, this pitching lineup they have work to do.
They're going to throw a junior righty, Abraham, tonight. What can you tell us about him?
Abraham's a good arm. Abraham's kind of the bright spot, and you're going to have to see get a lot of innings out of him. But, again, it's midweek, so I'm interested to see how Link handles it. It's a rivalry game you want to win, but you also have to protect the arms for the weekend. Excited to see him. He is a bright spot, a guy that has some experience. John's a good pitcher, and I'm interested to see what he can do against Florida tonight.
While I have you, we got to talk a little football, right? I mean, we got it. You can't not have a conversation and not do that. Much has been made about the debt, Allison, and how real of an issue is that in terms of Florida State moving forward, with its athletics budget and what it wants to do?
Yeah, I mean, Florida State's in an interesting spot because there were things that had to be done, and I think that's why that debt number looks so daunting. I'm not going to say it's not a big deal because it is a big deal, but you have to remember what Florida State's done over the last 2 years. They did all the upgrades to Doak, and they completely gutted the one side of the stadium, the alumni side, and rebuilt it back up. I mean, it's a brand-new stadium if you've been inside Doak Campbell. And you also have to look at the football-only facility. It's a beautiful facility, and it's done. So that's hundreds of millions of dollars spent within the last couple of years just on those two things. So when you look at that debt is piled onto that. How it can impact the future, I mean, TBD. I mean, we'll all find out together. But, yeah, I mean, Florida State has to find a way to recoup that money. When you have a football program that's not performing, it's harder to recoup that money. So the hope is maybe we have a better football season and can recoup that. But the good thing, and outside of football, the renovations to Doak were done bigger picture. The hope is to get bigger acts, bigger things to Doak Campbell to maybe bring in some more money. Last week, the Savannah Bananas were here. It was a sold-out show, 60,000 plus. That brought a lot of eyes into Tallahassee to hopefully get that. This weekend, PBR Rodeo is coming to Tallahassee for 2 days, Friday and Saturday night, inside Doak Campbell Stadium. So we went from a baseball stadium instead of a football stadium to a rodeo facility inside Doak Campbell, which is going to be cool. But that was one of the keys to renovating Doak, was to kind of bring in that outside market. So Doak Campbell really becomes a year-round venue, and hopefully they recoup some of that money that way. But again, TBD, Steve. I mean, I think we're going to all find out what happens. But yeah, having a better football program will help that. I don't know if it's going to be this fall or not. I mean, there's a lot of questions surrounding this football team, but hopefully some of those outside acts outside of football help recoup some of that money.
Yeah, I mean, Florida's doing that too. They're going to have a couple of concerts inside the stadium.
For sure.
There. Yep.
And that's the hope, is that they do. The problem with Tallahassee, and what's always been the problem with Tallahassee, is that the I-75 corridor is a lot more attractive than the I-10 corridor. It's a lot easier to get to Gainesville than it is to get to Tallahassee, and there's a lot bigger cities closer to Gainesville than Tallahassee. But again, the hope is that renovating that curbs some of that and brings in those acts and gets people. And this weekend was a prime example of that. I mean, you sell out the Bananas 3 days in a row, 2 dates inside of Dick Hauser, 1 date inside of Doak, and it proves that people will come if something is attractive that brings them here.
Last question, actually two-part, one baseball,
Mm-hmm.
one football.
Okay.
Link Jarrett really seems to be the right hire and the right guy.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? And then what do you think a realistic win number is this year, given everything with the program that's going to keep people, administration, fans happy?
The second part's for football?
Yes.
Okay, so Link is 100% the right hire. I mean, he's a local guy. He gets it. He's got a mind. Outside of baseball, he knows what needs to be done. There's been a lot of renovations to Dick Hauser, too. They've got the indoor batting facility now that they've just done, which has really brightened up Dick Hauser in the spaces it needs to be brightened up. He's going to, again, I think Florida State baseball is going to struggle a little bit this year because of the losses, and he mentioned that. They're an older team, but lack of experience. And again, you see that on the mound and stuff. But Link will figure it out. Link is the right guy for the job. And as far as football goes, oh, buddy. You got a loaded question here. I think to keep the fans happy, I think you've got to be bowl eligible. I don't know if it's going to happen because, again, there's so many questions. We have no idea who the starting quarterback's going to be. You do get Deuce Robinson back, which helps at receiver, which gives those guys somebody to throw to. But is the right guy going to be throwing? These are all just questions we don't know the answer to. And they had a lot of guys jump in the portal. I mean, the portal's a thing where you have 30 guys jump in, and it's kind of like that's the norm now. But those were 30 guys that saw a lot of playing time last year. And I just don't know. I think to keep the fans happy, again, you got to be bowl eligible, but I just don't know if this team is going to get it done. I don't.
Wow. Where can people see your work?
WCTV, Channel 6 in Tallahassee, all the way from Gadsden County to Suwannee County. We're all over the place. WCTV.
Appreciate you taking the time. Thank you as always.
Of course, Steve. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Allison Posey, one of our grads, doing a great job over at WCTV. I'll get Greg here real quick. Greg, hello.
Hey, Stevie, I just wanted to quote something real quick for you on Gator Sports. We got Coach Summerall's first quotes that I've read, and he said, I'm a little uncomfortable. We're so far away from where I want us to be. I'm a little on edge. Can't be casual. Can't be complacent. We can't be lethargic. We have to be urgent and fiery and passionate. We've got to compete every day. You know, Steve, I'm not sure if I should be concerned or not. I know we'll have an orange and blue game to see for ourselves, but you know, what is it, the llast 4 years, we have 3 losing seasons, and your guest just said, be bowl eligible. So I'm just wondering about that. You know, I know you guys probably can't see the full contact. I think they had like a full contact scrimmage. No. And just my question, I'll leave it off air if you could answer. Dallas Wilson not practicing. Maybe we kept the wrong Wilson. Your thoughts? I'll listen off air. Go Gators.
All right. Thank you. No, because the other Wilson chose to go. That's whole nother can of worms. And look, I understand where Summerall is. He's inheriting things. He's trying to put his stamp on things, weight room, nutrition, whatever it is, and that doesn't happen, in 3 days. And, there's actually swearing now. You didn't hear that much with Napier. You hear cuss words now when you watch practice. So, they're getting after it. But, hopefully he'll get a little time. We don't see that very much in the sports world anymore, but hopefully he will. Gator Man, hang on. I got to pay some bills as you listen to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio and fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Miranda Vargas. Gators baseball is looking for redemption when they face number 20 Florida State at home tonight. Even coming off a series loss against High Point, Brendan Lawson was chosen as shortstop for Baseball America's National Team of the Week this morning. Head coach Kevin O'Sullivan said Florida can't let the setback get to them because they still have plenty of games left to play.
Like I told the team at the end, when you're playing good, you're really not as good as you think you are. And when you're playing poorly, you're not as poor, you're not as bad as you think you are. This is a long season, it's a 56-game schedule.
First pitch is at 6:30 p.m. with coverage here starting at 6:25. In other news, men's basketball just received a new set of honors. The AP named Todd Golden SEC Head Coach of the Year. Thomas Haug and Ruben Chinyelu were named to the SEC First Team, while Alex Cotton was named to the Second Team.
Hey folks, it's Steve Russell for my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. They've been in business for over 45 years. That in itself says a whole lot. Take a look around you when you drive. Take a look at the car in front of you, alongside of you. There's a really good chance it'll have a Southeast Car Agency tag, just like my vehicle does, and many vehicles before that have as well. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you to the good people at Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Gator Nation, ready to light it up? Gator Trim Light has already brightened homes and businesses across North Florida. And now they're bringing the heat with full color landscape lighting. Light up your palm trees, bushes, pools, patios, barbecue decks, everything in orange and blue. Whether it's a back porch retrofit or a full custom landscape install, Gator Trim Light makes your home game day ready. Turn your patio into the ultimate victory zone and cheer your Gators on to a big win. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. Gator Trim Light. Let there be Gator Light.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
It's a new year, kind of a new season, and Coach Steve Spurrier knows the importance of teamwork.
Any head coach that is successful, he's got to have a good staff. So team is very important, just like it is at Campus USA, and I'm proud to be part of that group.
Listen to the head ball coach and make the right play. Start your new year in a better financial place. Campus USA Credit Union. Check out campuscu.com. campuscu.com.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
If it happens in Gator Nation, you hear it on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Many thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of the show. Our second hour brought to you in part by the Florida Legends event. 3 Heismans, 2 events, 1 legendary day. You can join Steve Spurrier, Danny Warfel, and Tim Tebow for the Legends Gala at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Alachua County Sports Center on Monday, March 30th. You can get your tickets and more info, www.fllegends.com. And make sure and check out on the WRUF app, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF, home of the Gators, brought to you by our friends at Fairlife Milk. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Gator, man, what's happening?
Oh, what's going on, Steve? I'd like to give a congratulations to the gymnastics team. What a performance on Sunday.
What a meet. What a meet.
Yes, it was. Hopefully they can continue it on so we can bring that trophy back to Gainesville. But I'm going to let you answer the short question today, Steve. I got fact or fiction. And number 1 is fact or fiction. Thomas Hart will be a top 10 pick.
Oh, boy. I would say fiction, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it was close, that he'd be close to that.
All right. All right. Fact or fiction, the Gators should get a 1 seed regardless if they win the SEC tournament or not.
Shaky fact. I mean, if they were to get blown out for some reason in their opening game and everybody else sort of, would have given the committee some food for thought, but I think they still get it.
All right. Fact or fiction, the Gators would be a better team with Aberdeen.
Doesn't apply. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Because those guards have done a nice job. People forget this. Xavier Lee had to turn off his social media because so-called fans were all over him about, how he was shooting the basketball. So think about that, right? And look where he's come. So I don't know how much better Florida would be with Aberdeen. I mean, good player, but I don't know that they would be any better than the other guys are.
All right. Fact or fiction, Todd Golden would get your vote for Coach of the Year.
If they win the championship, yes. If somebody else wins the championship, they probably would get Coach of the Year, but he would still get consideration for it.
All right. Fact or fiction, the SEC is not as good this year as it was last year.
Fact. It's not. But put a little asterisk by that, Gator Man. Last year was a historically good year for the SEC in men's basketball. We may never see that again. The SEC's really good, but not to that level.
All right. Fact or fiction, UConn coach Mr. Early should get a suspension.
Fact. You don't look. Mark Wise said it best the other day here on Hoop There It Is. He's become bigger than the game. And it should never be like that. It should never be like that, especially at the college level. I mean, maybe the pro game, Vince Lombardi or, okay, but not at the college level. I mean, even Gino Auriemma is, and look how many titles he's won, right? I mean, is he kind of, all there in a bag of chips? But you get my point, right? You don't see him stomping and going wild like Hurley does. He's become bigger than the game. That shouldn't happen.
Oh, no doubt. All right, last one. Fact or fiction, no SEC team will make the Final Four.
Fiction.
Yeah, I say fiction too. I think the Gators will make it. I think somebody will get there. Well, all right, there, Steve. You have a good day.
Get him in. Hold on a second. I hear crickets.
Yeah, I'm at the cricket. I'm outside.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought maybe it was me, and I'm losing my ever-loving mind here. But no, okay, as long as I heard the crickets and I'm not, okay.
Yeah, the cricket. It's a sunny day out here today. The rain doesn't stop. It's a beautiful day outside.
All right, Gator man. Thanks, man.
All right, you have a good day.
Appreciate you. Thank you. I'm thinking, like, what the hell is wrong with me? I'm hearing cricket. Maybe it's time maybe it's time I've reached the end. Oh, I feel better. Robert, hello.
Yeah, well, the cricket championships are going on right now in England. Maybe that's what he was talking about.
Maybe so.
So, Steve, let's assume the Gators are a one seed.
Okay.
When the committee puts together their selections, do you think they put Houston as a 2 to us?
In our bracket?
Yeah, in the sense that they don't want to see a rematch, or do they put Houston in the other 3, hoping that we do have a rematch? I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe I'm naive in saying this, Robert, and I probably am. Because, look, what's the tournament about in some ways? It's about the matchups, right? It's about the sexy matchups. But I think your job, being on the committee, is not to worry about that. You put a team where you think it belongs, regardless of what the potential matchup might be down the road. I hope that's the way this would be done.
Well, what's your opinion? Would you want to see a matchup, or you want to see Houston in the other 3 brackets?
It doesn't matter to me, because right now, when you're in this, when you get to where this tournament comes from,
yeah,
I don't care. It's who you're playing next. You got to go beat them. Now, do you want to see a team that you're familiar with? Maybe later on down the road. Yeah, sure, but not a big deal to me.
What about the selection committee? Do you think there'd be people on the committee that would want to see a rematch, and there'd be people that would not want to see a rematch?
No, again, I'm not going to speak for who's on the committee because I don't know the answer to what you're asking, Robert. Because I think what they should do is their job, as I just said, is to seed this the best way they know how, based on what this season has done.
Okay. All right, Steve. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Cassie, I like the conversation around women's basketball at UF. This is our International Diamond Center email. Resources are critical. Strickland's aware of that. As a former Gator alum, women's basketball coach, and as an athletic director, I can say without hesitation that with a name coach hired, money will come. Cassie, I hope you're right. I get the point. I'm going to go crazy here. If Dawn Staley came here, okay, would money come? Yes, it would. But how many of them are there that, a casual women's basketball fan would know? I mean, I think Kim Mulkey and Dawn in our league, Gino, obviously, okay? But if I said to you, who are some other coaches around the country, I'm not sure how many get named. But I don't disagree with your thing. First, invest in a coach that'll attract elite athletes. Also, the fan base need to make a splash higher. Well, I don't know if, first of all, none of those big names are going to come here. At least I don't believe they would. So where's your splash higher going to come from? I think that's the challenge Strickland faces. Daniel, interesting discussion on women's basketball. Fascinating to me because while NIL is still ungoverned, it's all about creative accounting and moving money around from different buckets. So Scott could use the $22 million from revenue share, make, let's say, a 3-year commitment to super fun women's basketball, taking money away from football revenue, and backfill with NIL donations for football, since NIL remains a straight pay-for-play program. Hopefully that makes sense. It does, but it didn't make sense now because that didn't happen here. Again, Kelly Ray Finley had to go out and raise money by doing a fashion show and some other things to raise the money. They were not funded well compared to a lot of the schools in the league. That's just a fact. Porter, hang on. I've got to get a break. I'll get to you after that. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you as we talk Gator sports and all kinds of sports every day on Sports Scene on WRUF.
The NCAA tournament is coming to WRUF this March.
It's football season, touchdowns and celebrations, and unfortunately, injuries. If you're injured, call Titan MRI and Imaging. No need to deal with long wait times and high costs to get your scans done. Titan MRI and Imaging will save you time and money. And the experience at Titan MRI and Imaging, much more personal than the sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. So if you need a scan, call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
International Diamond Center's values are so compelling, it's not unusual to see people here that are not local.
Every day, we have people that drive an hour and a half, even 2 hours.
IDC owner Keith LeClaire.
People are willing to drive because they've heard it's not a typical jewelry store.
For example, did you know IDC has one of the largest selections of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in America?
You're going to want to come to IDC. It's worth the drive.
International Diamond Center in Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
For the first time ever in a public setting outside the Heisman Trophy ceremony in New York City, 3 legends are coming to Gainesville. Join Steve Spurrier, Daniel Werfel, and Tim Tebow together with their Heisman trophies for the Legends Gala at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill on Monday, March 30th. Enjoy an unforgettable night of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
The best conversations happen with Los Landeros tequila, like this recent conversation between 2 Gator legends.
Coach, you know, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 national championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. 100% agave Los Landeros tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
Just after sunrise, the lake is glass. No traffic, no noise, just you, a cup of coffee, and open water. That kind of peace isn't far away. With Radiant Credit Union's flexible boat financing, competitive rates, and quick approvals, you could be on the water sooner than you think. Make some waves with a boat loan at Radiant Credit Union. But hurry, our special rates only last until March 31st. Apply today at radiantcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Opportunity Lender.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
By the way, big shout out to all of our sponsors. Appreciate you all who come on and help support Sports Scene. It's appreciated very much. And don't forget, we come to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio. They can make your home game day ready. They're really good at what they do. you can visit GatorTrimLight.com and find out more. And we're fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. You know where they are, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. I keep telling you, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. You're not in business for 45 years for nothing. Go see the Cousins family. When you do, tell them Sports Scene sent you. And all of our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, won't back down. Let's get to Porter. Porter, hello.
Hey, Steve. First off, I mean to ask, I keep forgetting the Isaiah 117. Do you know who is that? Anybody in particular's project or a charity? I hadn't heard of it.
Do not know.
Okay. Just curious about that. I like everything I've read for sure though. I wanted to give you my 2 cents so that I can write it down in stone. Next week it'll be guaranteed. Well, maybe. The potential matchups for Florida and UConn will be in the same bracket, but that's not a big deal. So if the seedings hold out, that would be in the Elite Eight game. Duke is when he paired with the Florida bracket and the Duke bracket will be paired together. So that would be a Final Four matchup, but not a potential championship game. Arizona will be on the other side. Potential final matchup title game would be Arizona. And I think the 2 seed with Michigan on the other side is going to be Houston. So potentially if Florida and Houston continue to advance, it would be a matchup. Write it down. You heard it here first.
Okay, got it.
Okay, let's be safe.
All right, Porter. Thank you. Appreciate it. Daryl says, hated to see Etienne and Lloyd get traded. They didn't get traded. They signed free agent contracts. Correct me, Charlie. Etienne's with the Saints. I think Lloyd is with the Panthers, I think. Yeah, thank you. Wouldn't be surprised we'll have college players traded with all the NIL and transfer portal stuff. I'm glad you mentioned that, Daryl, because when we get into the summer, when, there's not a lot happening, if you're going to treat college athletics like pro, that's one thing that's been brought up. But I don't think you can do it. I mean, okay, I'm playing for Duke and player X is playing for Florida and you make a trade. What are you going to do about academics? I mean, I guess you could still do the same thing at the other school. I hope that day never comes. Monty, remind us how to listen to Sean Kelly's radio broadcasts of Gator basketball once the NCAA tournament starts on the Gator Network, where it always is. Simple. Stewart, don't remember heard this fact about South Carolina NIL for Dawn's team. $11 million was invested last year or the year before. They lost $5 million as a program. How can that be a sustainable strategy? Thanks for Torian Green's interview. Loved him as a player, all class. Yeah, I really enjoyed it too, Stewart. I'm going to be honest with you here. I don't know how a lot of this is sustainable. I just don't know how a lot of what's going on in college athletics is sustainable. I'm sure it'll work out somehow because it always seems to. But if it does, there's going to have to be massive change. By the way, tomorrow, just a quick program note for you, if everything goes the way it should. Charlie Cream, the ESPN.com women's college basketball bracketologist. We'll talk about that and his thoughts on this hire. Is it a good hire? Is it a good job? Okay, we'll talk about that. Florida's playing South Carolina in baseball this weekend. South Carolina's baseball coach, Paul Maneri, is supposed to be with us tomorrow, live. The Miami Dolphins are jacked up. They jacked it up, didn't they? They went and blew it up. Marcel Louis-Jacques, who covers the Dolphins for ESPN.com, will join us to talk about them. And we hope to have Patrick Young here, Gator Great, to preview the SEC basketball tournament. So hopefully all that tomorrow. And then Mike DeRocco will be here Thursday to talk about the Jags and what they're going to do. So all that's coming up. In the meantime, we'll go back to our International Diamond Center email, askrussell@wruf.com. And We go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Top Jimmy, hello.
Good day to you, sir.
Hello.
You already, I think, alluded to it a little bit earlier. I don't know if it was, I think it was while you were interviewing Allison Posey, which I know you always enjoy being able to interview your former students and
you bet I do.
Recognize it and recognizing their success in their given venues and it's cool here. Tonight, is there still a three-game series with FSU where home and away and a neutral?
Yes.
Okay, they're still doing. Okay, I was curious, and I thought I heard you already say that. So, obviously, tonight's game's here at home.
Yes.
So they'll play in Tallahassee and then where? Jacksonville?
Jacksonville.
Is that what they're still doing?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Your prognosis on tonight's game, is it going to be long ball and lots of runs, or a pitching duel, or what do you think?
Well, usually in these games, you have midweek starters, right? It isn't like you've got your weekend guys going, so you piece together pitching.
Gotcha.
So could there be a lot of runs based on that? Yes, but I don't think so. I don't see this being a 12-10 kind of game. Do I see it being maybe 8-6 or something like that? Perhaps, because again, how long do the starters pitch? Because if you're Florida, you want to have your Tuesday guy available for the weekend, so you're not going to probably pitch 6-7 innings. So you're going to have to piece it together. FSU probably pieces it together. Who's effective? Who isn't? So we'll see.
Right on. Also, with the impending March Madness coming, I personally think that this is potentially going to be the best in recent history as far as the postseason tournament. Some of them even in their postseason conference tournaments, but specifically the bracket. Because I think any team right now that's ranked in the top 25 has a shot at winning the title. Your thoughts?
No. Wrong.
No?
No. I think a handful of teams have a chance to win the title. I don't know who number 25 is, but I would not go to Vegas and plop down a bet on that.
Okay. Well, no, the reason I was saying that is typically each year you can automatically identify 8 to 10, maybe 12 teams that are going to have a legitimate chance of winning it. And it's kind of that way this year a little bit, but I think it's a little more wide open this year than it has been in recent years.
I don't know how you figure that. I mean, tell me realistically who you think has a chance to win this.
Specifically, I'm going to say Gonzaga.
No. No.
No?
No. In my opinion, no.
Okay. I was going to say Wisconsin and Illinois also out of the Big Ten, but again, Michigan and Michigan State come out of there too. So
I don't put Michigan State in that because they can't score. Michigan, I do.
Okay.
Michigan, I do.
Okay.
And Michigan State plays great defense, but somewhere along the line in the tournament, you got to, you can't win 68-62 all the time.
You're going to have to score 90 points, or
well,
something.
If not 90, right. Maybe score 80, and I'm not sure they can do that.
Yeah. All right. And then, lastly, Gilgeous-Alexander last night put his name in the NBA history record books with two different stats. He scored 35. He missed the triple-double by 1 rebound. He had 9 rebounds, 15 assists, 35 points, and did not turn the ball over. There's only one other player in the history of the NBA that scored 35 and had 15 dishes without turning it over. Got a name for me?
Top of my head, no.
LeBron James.
That would make sense. Okay.
Oh, okay. And then also, he scored 20-plus points for the 126th game in a row as a starter. Guess who that tied?
Kobe.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay, I have it in front of me. I actually read it. I didn't want to cheat because I have it in front of me. I didn't want to cheat, so I would have guessed Kobe. So yeah.
Okay, all right, no, fair enough. But is OKC, in your opinion, still the team to beat to win the NBA championship?
Yes, I do. Now, are they going to be healthy? All that when the time comes. But I think if they're healthy, I would say they're one of the teams to beat. I'm not sure the team, but they're one of the 2 or 3 teams. The Celtics really intrigue me now because of the year they've had and getting Tatum back.
Thank you for referencing that, getting Tatum back. He comes back from, almost a year of surgery and rehab on an Achilles and puts up a double-double with and had 7 assists, I think. He missed a triple-double in his first game back from Achilles recovery. That was impressive stuff.
Yep.
All right, sir. Always a pleasure. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. I mean, think about what Gilgeous-Alexander did. And yet, I don't want to say that nobody knows him because that's not accurate, but because he plays in OKC, he's not in a big market. He's not LeBron or something like that. He is a terrific player. I mean, and again, Chamberlain's record that he beat, he set in the early 60s. The early 60s. That's how long it's been since someone's done that. So he's a remarkable player that he's a superstar, but I don't, if you started saying who the best players in the NBA, I don't know how quickly his name comes out, but he's really good. One final break. We'll come back and take as many calls, questions, comments as we can to wrap up Sports Scene for a gorgeous Tuesday as you listen on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Haley Kelsey. Florida men's baseball drops down to number 23 after just barely avoiding a series sweep against High Point over the weekend. The Gators pulled out a 12-11 win after scoring 5 runs in the 9th inning on Sunday during the series finale. Head coach Kevin O'Sullivan was disappointed in the Gators' performance, but he emphasized there's a long season ahead.
Like I told the team at the end, when you're playing good, you're really not as good as you think you are. And then when you're playing poorly, you're not as you're not as bad as you think you are. This is a long season. It's a 56-game schedule.
The Gators will look to regain momentum tonight as they take on number 20 FSU at home with the first pitch at 6:30. Meanwhile, Florida softball completed a sweep against Missouri in their opening Southeastern Conference series. The Gators will look to extend their winning streak as they continue on in conference play with a matchup against the Kentucky Wildcats on Friday.
He's got the 1966 Heisman Trophy, the 1996 National Championship Trophy, and 7 SEC trophies. Now he's got a new trophy, a can of beer. Steve Spurrier was the head ball coach. Now you can call him the head beer coach. Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager is available in 16-ounce cans at Gator games and stores all across Gainesville. You can also get it in the can or on draft at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Refreshing in all kinds of weather, Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager, a legend in a can.
Attention local and regional CDLA drivers in the North Florida area. Pritchett Trucking is currently looking for local and regional drivers. Are you looking for a driver-friendly environment? Pritchett Trucking offers more home time, great pay, and great benefits, including health insurance and paid time off. And they also offer a quarterly performance and safety program, plus a sign-on bonus. Pritchett Trucking's regional drivers are home weekends and local drivers are home daily. If you're at least 23 years old and want a rewarding career with great pay, don't let the opportunity pass you by. Apply online at PritchettTrucking.com.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville and you'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Davis Gainesville Chevrolet is now Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC.
That's right, Coach. The all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC is an unbeatable team. New Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, your choice, just $279 a month. Plus, nobody will pay you more for your trade than we will. At the all-new Gainesville Chevrolet and Gainesville GMC.
See you soon at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com.
24-month leases, 85-21 due at signing. No security deposit. Subject to lender approval. May include loyalty. Offers don't combine. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
When you need insurance, you'd like to get great coverage for a great rate, right? The big companies tell you they will, but how can you be sure? With Ann Tom's Insurance, you're not navigating coverage choices alone. Ann Tom's is an independent agent with 35 years of experience representing over 45 companies. Having an independent agent makes a real difference. It's that simple. Ann Tom's is local and independent, not just a phone bank. Go to atomsfl.com or call 352-275-9203.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Our rain-free day will continue through this evening and overnight. I'm expecting temperatures to drop down into the 60s after midnight with an eventual low of 64 degrees. Tomorrow we will have a similar weather regime in place, so expect high temperatures to reach about 90 degrees, which is 15 degrees above average for mid-March. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Andrew Wolfeck.
This is Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators, and you're listening to the home of Gators basketball, right here on WRUF.
The Florida Legends event sponsoring this hour of Sports Scene. We appreciate them. And I mentioned about all of our sponsors. You can join us here. Just contact Freddie, 352-284-3733. We would love to have you as a sponsor of the show. All right, let's get some final comments here. Neo on YouTube, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. What's it going to take to shoot better free throws as a team? Practice, practice, practice. Feels like that could be a key flaw comparatively past the first weekend. Well, we'll see. Jeremiah on Facebook, courtesy of Ruse Oak State Farm. Not trying to jump the gun. Look at what happened with volleyball. That's a program with the pedigree and culture that women's basketball strives for. Instead of following up one of the best coaches to grace the sport with a top coach, they opted for a successful mid-major coach who made the Gators unranked for the first time in 2 decades. Funding is hard, but it's all worth it when postseason success comes of it. Well, 1 year does not, make a coach, but next year for Ryan will be a pretty big year. Steve on Facebook, great interview with Torian Green. Made me start thinking, what's the most unique experience you've had on air with a guest? That's a good question. I got to think about that. I can't really, well, yeah, I can. I won't mention the guest. They were here, and they threw up. Got sick. Yeah, I don't feel so good. And, just out of the clear blue. So, yeah, that's probably would sort of rank there. Now, I mean, managed to, get up and go. It wasn't in here, but, all of a sudden, just got up and left. Whoa, well, all right. Now, here's one I got to say for tomorrow. I got to think about this. Irv, knowing you're a former baseball player, what's your walk-up song? I got to think. Because first of all, for somebody like me, I might have a song and half the people don't know what the heck it is because it's old. Like, who did that song, right? But honestly, I'm not hating. I wouldn't have anything like now, probably, because I don't know half of it. So I'd have to think about it. And it would have to be something that the crowd could get into. I don't want it to be because I like it. If I were going to do a walk-up song, I want it to be something the crowd would go, oh, yeah, and either move with it or know it or something. So, Irv, I'm going to table that, and I'm going to try to answer that tomorrow. But that's a good question. Nobody's ever asked me that before. By the way, today, a lot of Gator fans, Florida plummeted in the polls after losing 2 out of 3 to High Point, but they were not the only SEC team. You think LSU's fans are a little thinking about what's going on here? Yeah. I'm looking at the schedule, and Ole Miss plays Southern Miss. Southern Miss is ranked number 6 in one of the polls. Mississippi State plays Tulane. But other than that, it's typical midweek fare, except for Florida and Florida State. But yeah, I mentioned this yesterday. I'm going to say it again. Tennessee's lost some games. LSU's lost some games. I'm not sure the league is as good as it was last year. Time will certainly tell. But look, next week is when it counts. Next week is when it counts. And South Carolina plays the Citadel, and they play at the Citadel today. Quickly, tomorrow, speaking of South Carolina, their baseball coach, Paul Maneri, will join us. Hopefully Patrick Young tomorrow previews the SEC tournament. But for today, we are out. Thanks to Charlie for producing. We appreciate you tuning in, listening, however you do it. We'll do it again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you tonight and get the Gator Baseball broadcast. The Sports Lab gang next. Stay with us here on WRUF.
This is Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators, and you're listening to the home of Gators basketball, right here on WRUF.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!